Hello, everybody. This is St. Charles. It is Sunday, the 13th of July, 2025. It's been a real hectic weekend for me for personal reasons, and it's still a really hectic weekend for me. So this is going to be hopefully a brief or shorter podcast, and we're just going to cover a few stocks off. I'm going to start with HAMA, HAMA, and this one here, I've been asked for a chart in this one a few times, and I think that this here, it's sort of at the tops. I've got a blue box sort of target zone there at 1.79 up to 2.52, which is overshot. It went all the way up to 3.26 pence, and it's sort of having a bit of a pullback. But is that move over? Well, do you know what? I'm going to drop down to the 4 hourly, and I don't think it is. So I think that I've got a blue box reversal zone here at sort of 1.79 down to 1.49. If that holds, it's on a lower time frame, so it's not as strong as obviously higher time frames. But I think the price action might just sort of fall down to there, probably take the sort of around the top of that box, and then hopefully we can see the bull step in, sort of break this price high, sort of hold above sort of just about 2.8 pence, there's something around that figure, and that should bring us into this red box zone here at 3.54 all the way up to 4.08 pence. So HAMA potentially still a bag at least in that one, isn't there, for those loading up around that price? So looks pretty good. Next one we're going to do is NFX, and if I just get that one up and back onto the daily, this one's a bit of a tricky one because I don't really have a target zone as such, but there's potentially sort of this grey box zone down here, but I'm not going to talk about that. It's been a horrendous decline for since May 2019, hasn't it? So I've sort of created this channel. And it's sort of broken out. It's holding above that channel there. It's done it before, but it didn't hold. But as long as that sort of channel can hold there, so it sort of needs to hold above sort of 0.8 pence level, sort of 0.08 pence level, and it breaks this prior high, sort of breaking hold above 0.2, should give us this red box zone here at 0.261 up to 0.313. But bear in mind that if it doesn't hold that sort of break there, we could see a fall down. It's sort of back into the lower part of this box here. It's sort of probably going towards that low. So it's worth doing some research, seeing what it's all about. I don't know anything about NFX, but fingers crossed for holders that can continue to move to the upside. MSMN is my next one, and I think I've covered this off recently, but I've tidied the chart up this time. And I've got this blue box reversal zone down here at 0.019 pence, and for me, I think it's holding pretty well here. If we can see the ball step in, get some news, hopefully we can see the next wave up. My target is slightly altered actually at 0.0884 up to 0.1075. So potentially 4 bags in that one, isn't there, if they can produce the right news? So that is MSMN. MIRI is my next one, and I covered this one off recently, in fact last week, and it's bagged, hasn't it, during the week? It's sort of had a bit of a pullback, but I don't think that move is finished. So I'm still, there's still that gap there at 0.15, which is, that's an awful lot of bags from where we are today. Sorry, in fact, the top of that is 0.33, isn't it? So, an awful lot of bags in that one still. But I don't think that moves over. I think it's just a few technical traders trading off the moving averages. But I think we've still got another wave at least higher in that one. So, I think it looks pretty good. And I'm just going to see whether I can switch to another screen. I don't know how to do that. In fact, I'm not going to do that. So, I think if you look at LinkedIn, there was a recent post from the US arm, and they've got programmatic advertising linked up with the Trade Desk, which is a $37 billion company. It's massive, which would be absolutely fantastic. I think Myriad get sort of a 30% cut of those profits at the moment. It is live. That's the key thing, which is really good. But more important for me is if they can transfer that from the US over to the UK, and they can do that over here, image that over to the European arms, that could be absolutely massive for this company, which is, it's only a few £1 million company, isn't it? So Myriad, worth doing some research, seeing what's been going on there. But for me, I think there's potentially more upside in that one. So happy to hold. Next one I'm going to do is V3CT. Oh, sorry, TC. And this one I've been asked for a few times. I'm just going to drop down to 4 hourly because there's not an awful lot of trading history with this one. But I think that, the V3TC, it looks pretty good. It's in a sort of a blue box reversal zone down here at 16.974 to 15.226. If bulls can step in there, which I suspect they will, break this prior higher to 24.5 sort of level, it should bring us up into this red box zone at 28.3 up to 31.85, and I've extended the box because these things tend to shoot up really high. So that's 36.25, 36.215, and possibly even higher. Who knows where that one could go? But V3 TC looks pretty good for an entry. Next one I'm going to do is PR1 because I missed that one off on my other one. I think I missed that one off as well because it didn't have the prior one. Sorry, because we didn't have trading history on Trading View. But for me, I think that I'm not so keen on that one from a charting perspective. I've got a red box reversal zone down there at 3.02. I think that's probably where it's heading. Might not get there, of course, but that for me is sit back, wait and see what's going on. But it's not one I know anything about. But for me, I don't think that downward trend is finished. So that's PR1. Next one I'm going to do is SVNS. SVNS, and there we go. So this one here, I've got a blue box there, so I sort of thought we were going to see sellers in around that box. So I think that possibly that move is kind of finished for now. But for those who follow me, know I like to work in waves. So I think that this is our sort of a wave one. I think we get a bit of a corrective move here, probably 1, 2, 3, and then hopefully we can make another leg higher. But that corrective move hasn't started, so it could continue higher. But for me, I think that probably better plays out there. Sit back and wait for an entry on that one, but I could be completely wrong. Who knows? TRP is my next one, and this one we've covered off a few times. But it's been a chart request. I had that blue box reversal zone at 0.0292 down to 0.0212, which was correct. So sort of held, and then now we're trading up to this 0.0336 level. But sort of breaking a hold above sort of 0.05 pence should bring us into this red box zone here at 0.0684 to 0.0818. So that's TRP. Next one I'm going to do is MKA, and this one's had a bit of a mixed bag of a week, but we called that absolute spot on, didn't we, back down there? I had that grey box there, which is sort of creating a bit of resistance. And if I drop down to the 4 hourly, so in fact, probably to the hourly, have I done that? Oh, no, it hasn't saved it. But, I think that, in fact, if we drop back to the daily, I think as long as we can hold above sort of 25.5, I think that, we're going to move higher again. And this blue box is where we're going to be heading at 41.1 up to 51.2, and then see where we go from there. But I think MKA, that move is not over. It's CAML is my next one, and get that one. I've got a blue box reversal zone there at 146.6 down to 140.8. But ideally, we don't want to see a break and hold below 135p. If we see that, then I think this red box zone here at 113.6 is going to come into play. So that's one where you need to do your research. So this is a sort of a weaker setup, but there's a potential that we could get at least a bounce. Sort of 1, 2, 3. But if it's part of a bigger move, just get that off. Then we could see trading probably up to about 180, 190 pence. So that's CAML for me. SQZ is my next one, and I haven't covered this one for ages, but this is one where we gave this blue box reversal zone down here at 125.6 down to 119.2, which was another correct call. And we thought we'd see trading up to 175.5 to 190.6, which again was a correct call. Is that move over? Well, probably not. I think that, and again, I don't think it's saved it, but I think that here, I think we've sort of we've had a big wave up. I'm not going to go into detail, but I think if we've been breaking a hold above sort of 174 pence, I think we're going to be into this red box zone here at 182. 192.8 to 192.4, which is going to be right towards the top of that blue box that I gave a long while back. So that's that one. BTDR, some US stocks I'm going to just cover off now. And this one here, chart request, it's actually pretty good setup wise. And again, so unfortunately, my charts just aren't saving for some unknown reason. But for me, I think that that was kind of the bottom there. 10.96, sorry, 10 point whatever it is, 10.6. I think if we can go up and break this high at sort of 15.8, we're going to be heading up to 19.84, up to 22.4 as a minimum. But if it can keep the momentum going, sort of break this prior higher at 26.5p, it should bring us up to this 31.23 up to 37.86 pence. So that is BTDR. Looks pretty good. Next one to do is CAN, another US listed one. And my final one for today, where do I think that's heading? Well, do you know what? It might be around bottom as we are at the moment, but I've got a blue box reversal that box there at 0.514, goes down a long way. But for me, I would be waiting for an entry there. But if I was a bit overexcited, thought the fundamentals were really good, then probably now isn't a bad place to be loading and wait for a ride up. And target wise, well, need to really break sort of, if we went to 2.5 cents, that's, it's a couple of bags at least, isn't it, on that one? So there's no point putting a red box target zone there at the moment, but, looks pretty good. There we go. That's me for this Sunday. Back again soon.